Out in a little bit. Wait till I finish sketching this raven, and then we'll go. Alright. Hello, I hope everybody can hear me. I'm not sure if my headphones are working or what at this point, so I cannot tell you.
Power on.
Okay. I got the speaker on. And I have the headphones, so I don't know. It's gonna come through one way or another, somewhere. I don't know. One way, another, here we go. But anyways, let's see if I turn up this light. If it makes my life a little easier until I get people. Oh, Lord. Turn this off. Okay. It's better. There's less glare and it's better. But I am sketching this. I don't know if there's a glare keeps coming, but anyways, I'm sketching a raven today. I see them a lot in my dreams, and I like ravens because ravens, they represent a lot of things, and I just like them. Ravens are very smart birds, and they're pretty awesome. So, and I like the fact that they mourn their dead, and they're very misunderstood. They are, I guess, represented around death. Oh, hi, Razak. How are you? But yeah, ravens are represented around death, but they mourn their death, and they're in the mirror test. They're the most intelligent birds, and I mean that's including they're more intelligent than the eagles, which is amazing. I love eagles, but they're kind of a little bit more. They got more lore behind them. That's why I like them so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and sketch this because I gotta have something to do. Strolling YouTube streets in my bed. Okay. Yeah, I like my bedroom. That's why I have my little stuff in here. I love drawing in my bedroom. So for me, I mean, why have a big room of a place that you don't feel comfortable at when you're trying to do something artistic? And why be like everyone else? That's what I say. Because being like everybody else just I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it's a very fun experience. So I like to be myself, and I just don't care what other people do. It doesn't matter to me if what they're doing is popular or not popular because I personally don't care. But I like to just come over here and have a little conversation, and I like doing videos. I like doing, honestly, the most of my favorite videos are the ones I do with chalk. No, I'm from Ohio. I wish I was from somewhere fun. But yeah, well, yeah, Chicago. But I'm in Cleveland, where, like, where everybody knows MGK and all that. So, but where they call the Mistake by the Lake, that's where I'm from. I'm a suburb in Cleveland, and I enjoy. I'm glad I was. I'm glad I was from Cleveland, and I'm glad I was born here. I really am because I don't know, Chicago seems like it has a lot going on. I was Yeah, God, I did go to Chicago for my son's when he was in the Navy. We went to Chicago, and there's a lot of traffic there, folks. A lot. And I ended up arguing with one of the Navy people because they had him when I was in Chicago. And I got that, he's with the Army, he was with the Navy and all that good stuff. They had him guarding boxes, and me and my ex husband were there, and I asked the sergeant in command if I could take him out to eat. Because we drove all the way out to Chicago and stuff, and I wanted to see my son. And they was awful. And I didn't give a damn. I started arguing with this guy because he was very pompous and stuff. I did not like him. And then I got to the point where he wanted to arrest me. And I told him, I was like, are these documents that important that my son can't go out and eat dinner with us? Oh, you sensed a Midwest accent. I don't know. No Midwest. But yeah, I argued. I almost got arrested in Chicago. I like to put my opinion out there and I don't honestly care who likes it or not, because if you don't like what someone's saying, you just don't listen. It doesn't I don't get butthurt over here if people don't like what I'm saying or whatever. It's okay because everybody's different. And I guess with things that I care about, like if I drive 4 or 5 hours out and get a hotel room and stuff, and then I called it his baton twirling. They have these ceremonies when you're in the United States Navy where you twirl guns. It's crazy. And I called him a baton twirler, and he goes, "Oh my God, Mom." He goes, "You are crazy." This is what he called me. And I probably am at some point in my life. But he was just like, I am not a baton twirler, but I swear to God, folks, these batons it looked like they were twirling batons, and then they would have the ceremony. And it reminded me, I used to, when I was in private school, when I was way younger before I had kids, I ended up doing batons. First, I started Pom Pom Girl, and then they brought us when I got a little bit older to one baton and two batons. So it brought me back to the days when I was in private school. And my son was telling me, he goes, Mom, I don't want to hear my sergeant calling you referring to this as baton twirling. But what are you supposed to do? You say how it is. But I don't know. It's what it is. These don't, and I tell you, I guess the only reason I wasn't arrested because my son took the Apex test. It's this test, and he scored really high. So since he scored real high in this test, I did not get arrested. But they told my son that I was off. And do I give a damn? No, I do not. Because I think that they were awful. So this is where we're at with that. And I guess it was a good experience. He's always proud that he was in the US Navy, blah, blah, blah. Me personally, I think that I'm so damn stubborn. I think I would have got thrown out of the military. I just can't deal with a bunch of people talking crazy. And no matter what you do or say, the thing is you got to believe them. And it's and I guess they had these papers. And then the sergeant even told me that he owned him. And then, of course, I told him I gave birth to him. And I said, yeah, but now we own him. So I respect military, but I don't like their little tactics. I don't like how they're cocky. And I just don't like how they operate in that manner. I feel that nobody owns anybody. And I don't like how they do that to people. But apparently mothers do not have these kind of options. So it is what it is. He did end up working on the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds, and all these different things. And he's a very good mechanic. And they ended up taking where he went to this A school in California and Florida. They did a lot of bunch of stuff with him, and he has a good job now. But I think that they could have been a little more respectful. But my son says that I'm just too damn argumentative. And he's glad I never went to the military. And I am too. I probably would have got damn arrested. I don't take lightly to people that want to act ignorant half the time. And I tell you, these sergeants, they literally think that they walk on water like Jesus. They really do. And I think that they would call themselves Jesus if they could. So I don't know. But that's my story about this whole military business. Because I feel that a lot of times they go to violent measures that they really shouldn't. And I just don't like the way they operate a lot of times. But that's just my opinion about it all. And my opinion, apparently, with the military does not matter. And I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with my opinion not mattering because I had the chance to go to the military when I was younger because my dad was high ranking in the military. I told my dad I would not go to the military because I did not agree with all their practices. And he told me, oh my God, you could have a really good job, this and that. I said, I don't care. And I don't. I really don't care. If I got to sit there and live my life and have to answer to a higher evil, I would rather be poor. I never did end up, I didn't end up being super rich, but I never ended up being super poor either. So I was always right in the middle. And I was okay with that. But my son's proud of he's proud of going in the military and all that. And I'm okay with that. And I'm proud of them too, but I wish they had better attitudes, but they really don't. And I urge anybody, if they want to go to the military, to think about if they're willing to give up not having an opinion and stuff. And if it's worth it to them, because if you leave within 2 years and go AWOL, then you can't barely get another job because that goes on your record. So you have to be real sure about what you're going to do. I will give you this advice if you are thinking about going to any kind of military and you guys are in the United States. Because this is what the United States does in the military. They always do this. They always, and there's some kids that aren't really cut out for it. And it's the kids that are rebels, the ones that leave. Oh my God, it broke. but they leave. And then when they leave and they come back, when jobs, they put that on your record. So when you go to apply for a job, you're screwed. And just, I guess, simply put, you're just screwed. And who wants to deal with that? So just be real careful and make sure it's what you want to do. I guess that's the best advice there. Now, my son wanted to do that. I mean, he absolutely wanted to, and that was what he wanted to do, and that's okay that he wanted to do that. But there's a lot of people that once they get there, they don't want to do it, and you're kind of stuck because who wants to be poor their whole life? And they have pretty much they won't take any drug addicts at all. I think you're allowed to smoke pot. I do think that. But if you're one of these rebel guys that are rock stars and this and that, and you have an opinion about the world, don't join the military. Do not. Or if you got a problem with authority, do not join the military, please. And that's it. I mean, I do have a problem with authority at times. I don't like them. I don't like sometimes when the police and all that are being mean to people. I don't like it. And I mean, who does? I mean, when I was growing up, NWA was prevalent. The cops they were stopping people that were minorities. And they were being really vicious and nasty to people. And this is what authority did to people back in the day. If you were not white, if you weren't white, it wasn't right. And I heard this my entire life. And everybody goes, "Why does it bother you? You're white." And I said, "Well, because I'm a fellow humanitarian. And who wants that? Who wants to deal with a bunch of people that are being nasty to people for no reason?" But it is what it is, folks. It's the world around us, but these kind of practices, they still go on. Sometimes it's with different, instead of just black and white. Sometimes it's about with foreign descent. People don't like foreigners sometimes, which I don't understand. I mean, I went to school, and the thing is we all came and from one. The only thing that sets us apart is our melatonin. When we were Lucy, and I believe in evolution, Lucy literally was the first human being, or the one they found, the earliest human being. And when they ran her DNA, and well, it's RNA by this time, but she was dark skinned. We came from dark skinned people. Everybody did. And when the ice age hit, that's when we lost our melatonin because we didn't need so much coverage with the sun. That's why Vikings were very light skinned. And if you realize these things, Prairie Wind Spiritual Arts. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I have a lot of visions of the raven, prairie winds, and wildflowers. And a lot of times I see ravens when I'm in my spiritual mode. And I don't know why I always see them. And everybody's scared of ravens. And I just am not. I feel ravens are very I feel that they're good. I mean, they are always associated with death, but death is a part of life. And I really like ravens. That's why on the mirror test, they're the smartest. And I always have, I think being an empath, that's why I have a connection to animals. That's why I have Chong. I've always had some kind of animal that's always been with me. Animals surround me all the time. Animals and children. It's always been like that my entire life. So, but yeah, I don't understand racism because I understand DNA. I've studied DNA. And I tell you folks, we all were one color, and it is proven through science. If you go and look it up and what the scientists have proven, it is true. It is absolutely true. And there's this guy, Mendel. And crazy thing about it, the church, they pretty much, he was a monk. And he used to study these peas, and it was about 1300. And the church exiled him because he said that with diversity comes different kinds of things, different colors and different variations of humans. And the church at that point did not want to hear about that. Oh no. They exiled him. He went to a village and he was a monk. He wasn't getting married. He didn't care about sex and all that kind of stuff. So he literally grew these peas, and while he was growing his peas, he would study the strands of peas. And if the villagers were in need of something, that they would literally go to Mendel all the time, and he would feed the village. He'd help the villagers, and when he died, the villagers saved his paperwork. And then another scientist came after that. And after this scientist, and it was our origins of DNA. And it was said that if you have so much strains of one pea, that you're going to get another strain and variety. And that's what happened with our DNA. Everybody was darker skinned. There was no skin like me, Snow White. Just one day, a person appeared out of nowhere, and that was it. And then the Ice Age hit, we migrated, and we got the Vikings and different stuff. And obviously, they were pale as could be. So, this is what happened. And this is our humble beginnings. And you have all your people that are racist, like those KKK people, and they don't want to listen to logic. And this is logic. This is literally what happened. And it's proven through scientific research. And I believe in the scientists. They don't sit there and blow smoke up people's ass. They want to find out truth. And they do. They find out truth. Every scientist is looking for truth. And I'm very, very scientific. I really love science. I love it a lot. I love it because science proves God. Science proves a lot of things. See, I put the Star of David in the middle. I really like the Star of David. But it is true, and I do believe this. But I mean, it's my personal belief. I don't believe stupid people. I believe what the scientists and what I've learned in school tell me. Because I've learned at a young age, you should not listen to stupid. And people that are going to throw their opinion and just be ignorant about everything are the people you don't want to listen to. So I don't. But it is true. And science, like I said, especially with all the stuff with the telescope and all the discoveries they've had, a lot of scientists are saying there is a heaven and there is God. And there's a lot of scientists and doctors coming out and saying that there's an existence of God. And there's a lot of them that do so much research that the only explanation for quantum physics is there's a God, because it's a light study of energy in the universe. And they don't have an explanation of how or why we are still living. And why there's wormholes and this and that. Nobody knows why. So there's a lot of scientists that were atheists that are now spiritual people. All right, I'm gonna get my black paint now. But I have been scrutinized because of my beliefs. There's a lot of people that think I'm crazy because I believe what the scientific community kind of it goes with, it vibes with. I believe I believe truth. And I think we all should believe truth. And I don't think that you should listen to one person and say, oh, so and so said this, so it has to be right. I don't even think you should think I think it. What I says goes truth. I mean, take a grain of what I say and look it up. Start your own study. And I thought this was open, but it's not. I think it's over here. I'm looking for my black chalk paint. I gotta have this. Where's it at? Oh, here it is. Oh, blessed. I found the black chalk paint. But yeah, I suggest you guys always look to other sources. Don't believe what one person says. Don't ever believe one person says. Because honestly, you don't know if I'm right, but I always research my stuff. And that's why I believe what I believe. So, alright. I'm gonna put some more black paint in my little Tupperware thing. Don't ever throw away your Tupperware. Even if you don't put food in it, you could put paint in your Tupperware. You really can. And I will give that tip. I've been doing this painting for a minute. It's pretty grand. Just take it in one of these containers that I don't want to use anymore, and bam, here it is. But I do have my tarot cards if you guys want a reading. I'm going to go ahead and get my. I'm going to redefine the lines around my bird. It looks pretty cool. But like I said, this is my belief system, but I don't expect you to believe what I believe. I would never. Because we all have different perspectives. That's what makes us wonderful. So here. It's gonna be a nice piece, this one. Tip here. There we go. This is looking very nice. I'm just shading in these wings. These wings are very wonderful. And I got these little spear things on here. And it's very nice looking. Well, this is what I like to do to relax. And I do have to go to work tomorrow. I think they might start coming to my door if I don't. Today I just was not feeling it. I just need another day of this antibiotic. I really did. This whole situation with my jaw has been killing me, and I can and November 5th cannot get here soon enough. This actually distracts me a little bit. It really does. Moving this over. I want to get all these in here, and I'm thinking about making the raven instead of all black. I don't know. Maybe I could like shade different things inside here. I'm not sure. I'll have to see what I feel would be good. There. But I am a beginner. I don't do a lot of I literally have not painted up a lot at all. I just kind of started doing this for my anxiety. But if you guys want a reading, I do have my cards, and I'm trying to do stuff that don't get me shut down. And when I'm painting and stuff, this stuff can't get you shut down because it's something you created. And if you're using a picture, it always ends up different, trust me. So you're not even really, you're getting an idea from an image, but you're adding your own things. And that's the good thing about painting. And it's something good we could do. I could do here. And everyone loves a happy painting. They really do. I don't know, I made all these Halloween decorations and now I since I was sick and called off to use some of my sick time, she's not going to be there, and they got this party, and they're all off that weekend because I work every weekend. I generally work every single weekend, so I have all week to go to whatever doctor appointment I need to go to and stuff like that. And it gives me time to stream and work on my YouTube and stuff. I'm actually in Facebook jail currently. I don't know. I literally deleted this post and everything, and somehow they say it's still up there and it's not. So I don't know. I give up. I mean, I just use that for advertisement anyways, just to, so I'm verified and things like that. So it's okay. But I hope one of the fact checkers realize I have deleted the post where it said I put this as a scary ride because this is what put me in Facebook jail. Because there was a road that was surrounded by a mountain. And I just said it looked scary and I got in trouble. And I don't understand how I got in trouble because if you're riding on a road on the side of a mountain, I think anybody would be a little scared because I have, when I traveled with my ex husband, traveled on roads on the side of mountains. And it was kind of scary because they have them in the United States. Because I mean, we traveled to Disney World and other places. And they have them, and they have stuff. They have roads that go through mountains, and these are not exactly the best roads that you. I would not even drive through these. I told my ex-husband I was not driving in these roads, and he drove because it was scary. I was like, sometimes I'm not the best driver, and this is why I really don't like to drive that much. And the kids that were afraid of me driving through this on the side of the mountain. And since he was a truck driver and stuff, he did because he was a professional driver, and I was a terrible driver. So this is why I'm in Facebook jail. This is why I take Facebook with I don't know, fine tooth comb. I don't give it any attention. I just kind of post things over there, advertisements for over here, and things like that. I don't be trying to make a living or waste a bunch of my time because you go in Facebook jail and that's it. And they say, oh, you don't make any money now. They do this to everybody, and it's like, okay, you weren't paying me a whole lot to begin with, but it's okay. If you don't want to pay me, don't pay me. You're not breaking my budget. But this is where I'm at with Facebook. And it was crazy because my other friend, she's in Facebook jail too. I even made a post about it. About somebody did for all the survivors of Facebook jail. Facebook does this a lot to people, even people that aren't digital creators. They really do. And it's always over crazy things, all the time. It's never over anything simple. So I don't know. I don't know. I thought the star in the middle of the raven is pretty. So I thought I would get more people. Sometimes the over here is like the ocean. Sometimes I get a lot of people, sometimes I absolutely don't. Sometimes it's like you never know what group you're getting. This is why I work on my paintings and stuff over here. I'm doing these little strings down here. This, I feel that I'm going to leave some of the shadings there and just have these drop down like that. And I'm going to put other stuff there. But this is something fun that you guys can do. You really could. I really like working with yarn, but this is fun too. My dog loves laying next to me. Whenever I'm on stream, Sean's always literally taking a nap next to me, and then when I'm done streaming, me and Sean go outside. I always take him up before I stream and after I stream, and like 3-4 times before. We're outside a lot. We were supposed to see his trainer. Sean, are you shaking the bed? I can't paint. Okay, now we went there. Oh, this is actually looking pretty cute. But I thought I'd get a bigger crowd today. Maybe not. But if you guys want to talk about something or something, let me know. I'm here. I'm doing my painting because I really wanted to do a painting today and get this done. So while I'm doing my painting, I don't mind talking. And I don't mind doing tarot card readings. Because it's fun. Alright. I think that's all the black I went into. I think I'm gonna like do some different kinds of shading there. And then I'm taking my little Tupperware and putting it there, and I'm saving my paint. Because saving paint is a good thing. Is that this a little bit of paint goes a long way. I will tell you that. I enjoy the painting, and I like how a little bit goes a long way, and I do suggest that. All right. All right, I am vibing with this pink color I made and lightened it up. So I'm gonna make my little spears. I'm gonna color these in pink over here. There, it's gonna be nice. But yeah, this is a nice activity for the kids too, and I'm painting a poster board too. So that's even makes it more fun and cheaper. And I get these little ideas, and sometimes I just like them with them so much I just run with it, and I just find little things to do because I am an artsy person. I do like knitting. I know that it's a lost art, and people. I do like knitting with needles. I think needles. I don't know. For me, knitting you have to do by hand with your needles. I feel it's just better. And I do love braiding. I love my braiding. I think braiding is awesome. But yeah, I think these little pink ones, making this that color is going to be really cool. And then I'm going to shade in the middle with something else. I feel that would be more fun for this painting. And then eventually, when I get a little better, I'm actually going to get a real canvas. I just feel it's a waste of money right now because until I get a whole lot better at this, I just feel it would be better if I didn't have. I want to do faces, and I have a lot of my friends that tell me it takes years. So I'm gonna just be doing all this little stuff, and practicing this till I get that to that level. And then eventually I'll take a break from this and probably start some of my crystal work. That I do love doing crystal work because I do love my crystals. They're some of my favorite things. I get 2 crystals in today. And it came with quartz crystals too. And I'm charging those up. And it's supposed to be like this pyramid. When I'm through with these arrows, I'll show you what I bought today. It's like, and it wasn't even overly expensive. You just gotta like put holy water and stuff with it, and just kind of charge it with your own energy. But I really like this little pink color, so I wanted to make my arrowheads this color. I don't know, it almost looks Native American, sort of, I guess. Sort of. I'm sure a Native American, a real Native American, probably would have done this more justice than me. Alright, like so many brushes. When I get off stream and finish my paintings, I just wash them all. But this is what I got so far. I think it looks pretty cool. And I just got that and pre-sketched it and then decided to put the Star of David in there. But I'm going to get another color. So I want to go and put something around it. And I thought I had another little thing for it. Alright. Yes, second thing. Alright. I'm just gonna use my pastel chalk stuff. This would probably be better if I did that. And then I could put these other colors around with it. Alright, Sean, we're going out right after I'm done with this painting, okay? You gotta watch out for these coyotes. Oh my god, talking about that. May I please be added? Are you talk about a question? You could just do the question in the stream. I just literally figured out how to answer all my comments. And I know it sounds crazy. But literally I just figured this out. I probably should have already known how to do this, but I really didn't. So I answered a bunch of comments and one from a year ago. Because I did a video apparently a year ago, and they said this song's not appropriate for prayer. And I like my rock music, I really do. And I just said that God doesn't judge. That was my response. And God doesn't judge. I went to Catholic school, and these nuns would tell me all the time, God doesn't judge, Michelle. And that's what they always told me. So I just literally that's what I told this lady. I just said God doesn't judge. So I don't know if she liked my comment, but it is what it is, and I was raised that God doesn't judge, and I don't use bad rock. I use positive rock. I love Avenged Centerfold and different ones. So to me, I don't think I listened to horrible ones, but it was probably with Journey or something. But all I said was God doesn't judge. And I'm allowed to have my own opinion, and that's why you should never judge anybody, because the nuns always told me that God doesn't judge, and if you judge, it's not a good thing. So, but yeah, just put your question up in the stream and I'll answer it. I'm just doing this until I get some questions, because you gotta be doing something sophisticating and fun in these streams. They can't have music. I mean, I honestly, there's such a music controversy. I don't even go there with it. I buy music though. It's like experimental for the creators, and I'm a digital creator, so I do like the AI music. I like it a lot. And I found myself next to Black Veil Brides. My husband likes, look, you're next to Black Veil Brides, and I was like, no shit, look at that. I mean, it's just you can make your own little beats and stuff and I do a lot of nature stuff. So sometimes I just like the instrumentals now, because now that I'm able to live stream, I really don't have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore. So I just use the AI music now. But God doesn't judge folks, and I don't think he does, be or she, the energy that is God. Because if God judge, oh my God, would we be in trouble? The stuff we do as humans, oh Lord Jesus. The stuff we do to each other and everything else. I mean, God is very forgiving. God would have to be forgiving. because the stuff we do to each other, the pain that we put on animals and other humans and the innocent, the pain that's inflicted, the greed, and then all the cover up. I'm sure God's not liking it. If I was God, I wouldn't like it, but it is what it is. That's why I always say God doesn't like ugly. And God really doesn't. I mean, and I say this because I feel that God doesn't like ugly. I've always had good karma, even though I'm up here and I haven't had an art studio set up. I still get subscriptions. So honestly, I must have some kind of good karma because I just sit over here and do my little paintings, and then I was doing crazy little cooking sessions. Like if you had no money to put together your food. And I've done some crazy stuff and still got subscriptions. So obviously God loves me somewhere because I shouldn't be popular because I there's a lot of people doing a lot of stuff that probably would get more popular than me, but somehow people are drawn over here. So that probably has a lot to do with karma. Honestly, I would think, because it is crazy that a person like me gets popular. Because I'm not very cool. I'm not, and I will be the first to admit I'm not very cool. There's a lot cooler people in the world, and some of these YouTubers are a lot cooler than me. I mean, I could name 100 people that's cooler than me, and I'm just saying this because I'm not an arrogant person. I'm over here because I'm living my best life. And if I get popular, I get popular, but I know my friends come over here and it gives me something to do. I mean, I'm not going to sit around my house and be bored. And sometimes Facebook, they take down my streams because some guy will be flirting with me on stream, and because he's angry because I tell him I'm married and stuff, all of a sudden my whole stream shut down and they just take it out. This is what they do. They just take it out. So when my button opened over here, I kind of do what I did on Facebook. I try to be and nice because you gotta be nice on Facebook and things like that. You are allowed to use a song and request songs, but I feel if you do stuff that has somewhat of a talent or just something fun and they see you doing stuff, I feel it's better than requesting a song because my friend, he does that. And he's the one that really encouraged me to live stream. His name's Live Going. And it was hard for me to live stream. I'm not gonna lie because I'm autistic, and he was like really nice, and he came in my stream and told me I got this and stuff like that before he came over here. And he did request a song, but it's I guess over on Facebook it's okay to do the song request, but over here not so much. So I had to think of something that I'm halfway decent at, and my people are good at arts and crafts. Autistic people they love arts and crafts. It's a well known fact. We're meticulous and we love our arts and crafts. So this is what I decided to do, and it's been working out okay. I think I did. I mean, I haven't had any complaints yet. I mean, even when I'm doing my knitting, people want to know what I'm doing because I do love to knit. To me, knitting is really fun, and I enjoy that. But I do like doing these pastel things because before I do my little paintings sometimes, I like to do the paint and the shades together because I feel it makes it prettier. Because you want to have nice, vibrant colors as you're going. And I feel this gives you the most vibrant colors. And it helps you because it decides, you could decide where you want to start painting and not painting it. So, and you could always take paint and put it over it. But I'm going to keep the Raven shaded because I feel it looks nicer like this. Because sometimes paint makes it look too extreme. I like half painted and half shaded look. So I do enjoy that. No, I really like this. I don't know what it is, but it's the Star of David with a raven, and I feel it's pretty. A little chalk always gets on these. I always end up. The only thing about this chalk, it really does get everywhere. Thank God it come off. But I don't know. We'll call this piece. I'll call it the Peace Raven. I guess that's what we'll call it. The Star of David is a very peaceful sign. So this will be called the Peace Raven. I know everybody's acting like the Ravens is the horrible thing, like Edgar Allan Poe with the Ravens. He was always afraid of a raven, but they're not that horrible. Alright, well, I am going to go take Mr. Chong out, and I will be back tomorrow. Well, wait a minute, I don't know if I can. I actually got to work tomorrow. I don't know if I can play hooky anymore. I'll try to make it up here tomorrow. Like if my husband's working later and he's closing, I should be able to do a stream. But I'm gonna try to stay on here, Cora. If you're still on here, you could put your question in. I don't mind answering your question. So I don't know if Cora's still here. I really don't. But I got my Peace Raven going here. And I really like this Peace Raven. I feel this Peace Raven's got it going on. And it makes me feel a little better. Because it kind of brought out my anxiety for the day. Oh, and then I don't have to really smoke marijuana or anything when I be doing my arts and crafts. Oh, hello. Hi, Jada. Okay, I got that one right. All right. Well, does anybody want any questions answered? I have the tarot card still because I don't mind answering the questions. Okay, so I'm gonna TikTok like my video. Here's business stuff. Oh, someone liked my reel over on Instagram. I've been doing these really cool reels. They have templates, and I take when me and Chong go for a walk. I I take all of our pictures and put them with them, and people really like them. They enjoy these a lot. So I've been doing that. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I don't know if I have my little Instagram thing over here. A lot of times over there it says I've got work to do in the garage, the work, and then it has. Oh my God, this is so funny. It has a dog, and then it has some Miller Lite. That's hilarious. That's what I like about Instagram. Everybody's so hilarious on Instagram. I'm not as popular. I get like one or two followers here and there, but I'm like addicted to Instagram. Yeah, I was waiting for you. I don't know what happened to Cora. I was waiting for her question, but yeah, I'm done my little painting and I was waiting. I do my painting waiting for people because you can't be over here on YouTube not doing interesting stuff. You got rock stars over here. You got all kinds of different people over here that's doing a lot of interesting things. There's a lot of competition on interesting things. So I gotta find out what I have that's interesting. Oh, you're welcome. And the one thing I do that's interesting is arts and crafts. I really like arts and crafts, so I don't mind that, and I guess that's my interesting thing. But to be over here, you gotta be interesting. To be a live stream and survive on YouTube, you must be interesting. And what's an autistic person supposed to do that's interesting? I mean, I don't have a rock band, so what can you do? So I do my painting, and then, if people are vibing in the stream and they want a reading, I do a reading. I mean, that's all you could do on YouTube. I mean, I appreciate all the interesting people on YouTube because there's a lot. There's that guy that does all those interviews, there's those people that do those social experiments. I mean, there's a lot of people doing interesting things. And then there's people doing stuff that you don't know what they're doing and you don't know what to think about it. But I like to do stuff that people aren't confused about. What made you into tarot card reading? Oh, I've always I've always had intuitive abilities. My mother was I don't like the word witch, but she was a spiritualist and she died. And when she died, I was there and I started seeing things more and more. But my mom said that a lot of times I used to finish people's sentences when I was younger. But when she died, it really kind of got really strong. So I've always done tarot cards and stuff, but I don't focus my life on just tarot cards. I like to study science. I like to study a lot of different stuff. But am I the empress that has been in my reads? I don't know if you're I mean, your star angel tarot. I mean, I don't know. I get person in your reads. I guess you would be. Oh, my mom died. I was there when my mom died, and when my mom died, my abilities. It was weird. When my mom died, I seen angels surrounding by her, and I hated angels for the longest time because I was always studying science when I was a child, and I seen all of these angels, and I really hated angels, and I started seeing different stuff, and I did not like them because I felt they killed my mother. So it was ever since my mother died, I've had abilities to do different stuff. My mom told me never to touch on her deathbed. She used to always tell me never to touch a Ouija board. She was very, very specific about that. I am getting the Empress or Emperor. Can you clarify? I only do moon readings. I don't like where I do know what you're talking about, the Emperor and the Empress. And if you get a lot of emperors and empresses, sometimes it could be an unclean spirit that goes through that, and you're talking about a traditional deck. I do Moonology ones over here. I don't know if you can see them. I have such a bad camera. But I do Moonology. I follow the moon cycles, and a lot of times, if you do that, a lot of negative things can go in your deck. And it's my mom used to say if you did traditional tarot deck, especially the ones that have the death cards, it's not good. And my mom, and if your cards could come up opposite, and it could be if you're getting a lot of emperor and empresses, it could be dark forces coming through your cards, and you got to bury them with salt. So, hair with the hair of it is a marriage. It can be, or it could be a trick. That's why I only deal with the moon pathways. I don't believe this. I believe some of them are almost like the Ouija board, and I don't like that. I don't. My mother was very against it, and she is my spirit guide now that she's dead because I can't see dead people. And my mother's been all like very against those decks. She says it lets in dark things, but the moon cards, they don't have any negative, and even if they detect a little bit of a negative, that's it. Oh, good evening, Hakeem. How are you? So yeah, if you're getting all those in different kinds like that, especially if you're getting the death cards and all that, I would bury them. And there's fairy decks you can get. The fairy decks are nice, and they actually help and they give advice. You just gotta know how to read them a little better. I think the moon decks are the best because they go with the path of the sun and the moon. But it could be a marriage, but it could be sometimes the dark spirits, they are very tricky. So, and when those spirits are real tricky, it could a marriage to them sometimes a dark spirit when you're married to them that means they control you, and they can like go inside you and do and just make you do little things without you not even knowing it. This is why I don't like traditional tarot decks. And I'm a free agent. I don't like to I don't like dealing with stuff like that. I like dealing with only positivity and pathways. I don't like dealing with angel numbers because I feel if you had an angel number, you don't know if it really was an angel or not. Because angels come to only certain people, and they're not going to help people that are impure, and a lot of us are impure. We were born impure in sin, and there's very few people that have not committed a sin, and these are who angels come to. So you've got to be careful with those too. And I would never even touch a Ouija board, even if it's a board game. And don't ever make a Ouija board, ever. And if any blood shows up on the Ouija board. Like if you get cut and you make your own Ouija board, that really lets in a lot of bad things. Because my ex-husband, I'll tell you a story about the Ouija board. And his family loved to make Ouija boards and just call in these spirits. And they thought it was other people and it wasn't. And anyways, they made their own Ouija board and they put a little blood on it and all this crazy stuff. And he had a younger cousin. She was like 18. And they got done doing this stuff and the table raised or something like that. He was telling me the story. And they left. And there was a house fire and his cousin got burned alive. So you have got to be careful with certain decks. You got to be careful about who's telling you what information because even though you think it's an angel, it may not be. And this is absolute truth. That's why I tell people the best thing is to meditate, manifest, and there's certain questions you can ask a positive moon deck, but there's certain things you can't because only a dark entity will tell you exactly if you're going to get a job or not, or this or that, or tell you if a dark entity will act like they know everything, and they don't. There's certain things in the future that nobody can tell you. And I've seen these dark entities because I can see dark and light. And a lot of times when I had my traditional tarot deck, I seen dark entities around it, circling it. And you should never burn them. That's why you could bury them and put them in the salt of the earth because then you release that dark entity all through. And it attaches itself to somebody. And they always pick the weak. Always. It's crazy. You can see them. Sometimes I see them attached to people and I feel sorry for them. And these are the people that won't take a cross, they won't touch holy water, and a lot of times they won't even speak to you. And their whole demeanor changes once one of these things attach themselves to you. And I truly feel sorry for these souls. And they'll stay on you an entire lifetime until you make them go away. And I guess seeing demons and light helps me. But this is why I do only pathway readings. Because I'm not asking a dark entity if somebody's like husband really truly loves them or not, because no one really knows this, and a dark entity might make you think they might tell a reader, yeah, they do, and then they're plotting murder. It's how can you really trust it? So I trust in people and I trust in the light. I don't trust in what dark people tell you. I don't. And my cards, I mean, I forgot. I was trying to show you guys this crystal pyramid I got. I picked this up on Amazon. I still gotta charge it up. It's a golden flower. I don't know if you can see it. It has a little gold in it. It's supposed to, it's like a golden flower blossom. It's so pretty. And I got it up here. And it gives me, and it's supposed to promote positive energy. And it came with some raw quartz, which in ancient Egyptian times, these actually help you. Like these, that's raw. These take any kind of like dark entity or whatever, or something that's dark around, and will make it, a dark won't come near you because they're a very positive stone. And I put it around my little pyramid thing. And I got it in my thing. Oh, hello. Chrislyn Davis. Okay, you're an Aquarius and you're with Gemini man. And he is he using me for sex or does he really love me? I can try to I'll do the pathway of your relationship. And it is good that you actually worry if someone's using you for sex because a lot of times people don't think about these things and then before you know it, they're being used. Just like my sister's being used for sex and then she ended up getting pregnant and there's all kinds of drama there. So let me see about the pathway of here. Alright, that whole situation is in a full moon in Sagittarius. And that's a card that's telling you to look at the bigger picture, which isn't a good sign. And that whole situation is being it's surrounded by a fixed moon and a mutual moon. And a fixed moon is hold on to your vision, which is to be happy and have someone. But a mutual moon means nothing set in stone. And a Sagittarius full moon pretty much is telling you that there's something not right. So, and a mutual moon tells you the situation is 50-50. I don't know if he's using you for sex, but I'm not picking up he really cares about you in that way. I feel he likes you as a friend and he likes having sex with you, but he doesn't like you as a girlfriend. He's trying to feel out if he wants to have you as a girlfriend. So, oh yeah, I have oracle cards. Yeah, they're the Moonology oracle cards. Those are the ones I use. I like the oracle cards. I like them a lot. But yeah, I'm not picking up that he's in love with you. I'm picking up he has a respect for you, but he's not in love with you. And he's not crushing on you. So I don't think it's horror. He's not malicious, but he's not in love with you either. At least he's not malicious, though. And if you're enjoying the sex, keep getting the sex and make sure that you're clean and he's clean and you're going. And this is the medical in me coming out. Please get checked out. Go to a clinic and make sure you're using a condom. Make sure that he's not having sex with anybody else because their herpes is on the rise, folks. They were saying the percentage in the medical community is like, I think, 60%. And there's no cure for herpes, folks. So you have got to be careful. You've got to be. And if someone is not being completely honest with you, you just say, you got to get away from me because I'm not trying to get herpes and I'm not trying to get AIDS and stuff like that. And a lot of people these days they say it feels better without a condom. And I'm telling you, in my medical standpoint, it doesn't matter. You still got to get checked out. And a lot of these younger people today are careless and they lie. They're not malicious, but they do cheat a lot. And I mean, things happen, but you cannot let yourself I would not let myself get a disease over somebody that really truly did not care or love me. So I just want you to keep that in mind. I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm doing it because I care about you as a person, and I don't want you to get sick. I literally have not slept with a lot of people because of this reason. And I've seen a lot in my life. I'm 50 years old, and there's a lot of malicious people out there that will get you sick. I want to say when I was at the Cleveland Clinic, I worked there. And when I was at Cleveland Clinic and I was in my oldest son was 2. I think he was 4 then. And I had him when I was 19. So I was 22. When I was 22 years old, about 30 years ago, there was a guy that was going around that had AIDS because I worked with AIDS. And he had hepatitis B also. And he was going to bars because he was sick. His sister turned him into the police. He was going to bars and he was a very good looking man. And he was going around having sex with women. And he infected about 20 people before his sister turned him in. The police picked him up, brought him to the Cleveland Clinic, and they had to tie him up in leather restraints. And I was his sitter, and I was in school at that time because my young oldest was younger. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. And this man spit at me to try to give me AIDS. And I tell you this with a heavy heart because I have seen a lot of crap in my life. And there's some malicious people out there that are bitter. And they go around and they try to give people AIDS. And they'll try to give you gonorrhea and all this stuff. And gonorrhea's back. There's cases of black rose. I think they were saying 5% is coming of that. They used to be in Vietnam. But there is some cases of black rose, and if you get black rose literally your penis will literally rot off and get black and fall off. And if a female gets black rose, they die. A male they'll just put a tube and you'll pee out of a tube. That's starting to go around too. These things are mutating. So I want you all to be safe and understand that these things are out there. There's way worse things than COVID. And herpes is evolving. It's not just regular herpes no more. Those strains are starting to come. And what people do not understand about these diseases, because I've studied disease and seen disease for a long time, is COVID literally mutated. It was like a simple flu that turned into something that killed a bunch of people because this is what viruses do. They're living things on this earth. They are. Just like when King Tut, I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember that. I watched when King Tut's tomb was brought out, and they got a respiratory disease from the people that went in the tomb, and it was from an ancient disease. And all the researchers and archaeologists, they were calling it the curse of King Tut. And anyways, after they dug up the King Tut and all these people died of this mysterious respiratory disease, it started to spread. And other people got it and it mutated into something else and a lot of people died. And herpes is going to evolve where it's going to get real nasty and aggressive. And this is what happens. And the medical community tries to have shots and stuff against these things, but if people are careless and they don't try, I guess, to protect themselves, you're going to get sick. And if you get sick enough, I mean, sometimes there's no cure and you're just going to die. And you're going to die young. So you got to be careful. So I just say this with a heavy heart because I don't want people to be sick and die. And I have watched a lot of people that had got autoimmune diseases and died at 20. I watched a 16-year-old die in her mother's arms from an immune disease, autoimmune disease. I've seen people die in horrific ways. I used to deal with infection control when I was at Cleveland Clinic. And it's not fun to have these because everybody suffers. And suffering is a horrible thing. You want to die when you're older with Roxanol in hospice, and you want your grandkids and your kids next to you. You don't want to die in suffering. And it's not worth one night of I think he's cute to have suffering to the point that you die young. I don't think anybody on this earth is worth that because the most important thing on this earth is your family and your children. And when you die, you want your children to know that you're okay and they're okay and you want to do the most you can for your family because nobody is more important than your family. Nobody. And don't let anybody get between you and your family. And I say this because these are the most important things. I have taken care of millionaires before they die, and they were sick and all their money got taken. And they told me that good health is more important than money. And I'm telling you guys because I know it's a younger crowd, and being 50, and I have good health. I got stupid stuff that's wrong with me at times, like a tooth infection that I literally have to. I've got antibiotics for. These are the things that are wrong with me personally. But I stay away from bad situations and I try to help. I don't want bad things to happen to people. I have seen so much suffering. I try to not promote suffering. This is why I don't like when I guess I don't like these human traffickers. I don't like people that torture people. I don't like people that willfully are nasty to people. I don't like it because I feel that it's awful. And they were taking people when I was younger. A human trafficker, tried to take me from Chuck E. Cheese. And my mom, they were sitting there telling me how pretty little girl I was, and I was in Chuck E. Cheese, and I had a mouth. So I literally went to my mom, and I told her that this person wants to take me home with them, and they seen me in the bathroom, and it was a guy and a girl. And then when I was younger, and I was like 6 or 7, and my dad was in the military. They tried to grab me. I took my foot and I kicked them so hard and I punched them because my dad taught me how to fight. I was there to learn how to fight when I was 7 years old. And all you heard was you little bitch. And I got out of the bathroom and my dad called the cops. And he ran after him and grabbed him and he had him by his neck trying to kill him. So these people will come after your children in Chuck E. Cheese. And you figure I'm 50, so 40 years ago they did this to me. So just imagine how advanced it got now. These people could come to your children through the internet now. They could just say, "Oh, all this and all that." Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Will your ex Levy contact me? I have no clue if someone's going to contact you because if that was, I mean, that's that person's decision, and I don't think I could know this. So, I mean, that's one question I can't answer. But I could tell you that if I could tell you, my mom always told me, if somebody is meant to be with you, you are let them go, and if they come back, they're meant to be, and if they don't come back, you got to let that go. So if Levy has not contacted you, then obviously that's not the person meant to be with you. I will tell you that. What are feelings of Odalis? I can't tell you feelings, but I could do a pathway on your situation. That is all I could do. That literally is all I could do because that's going against free will. You're so that's a God thing, and God, our feelings are private. So that's just there. I don't know, Indy, if it's or is it Indy or Isha? I don't know. Honestly, that's how God runs. If your ex does not contact you, it's because you're not meant to be. That's how God is. I mean, I follow God, and even though I am a reader, I feel God. I follow God. So, and if God took that person away from you, it was for a good reason, and I would let that person go and find and move on with your life, and maybe try to do something positive to help somebody. Because God has removed a lot of people out of my life. And it sounds to me like that person was removed from you. And I would just let that go. Sometimes you just gotta let it go. So, and I could do a pathway with this whole Adela, but I can't tell you about her feelings. I cannot because it's against God's laws. You can't do that kind of thing. But the whole situation there, and this is, oh jeez, is it? Okay, that you got a whole name thing going on here. I don't know. That's a really big word. I don't even know how to pronounce that. But anyways, this is about the Aries and Adelis, because I can't pronounce that name. But that relationship is in a new moon in Gemini, which means your guys are having communication problems. And it's surrounded by a new moon and a south node. And a new moon is just means a new start's coming. It just means new starts. And south node is not letting your past hold you back. I don't see it working out. And possibly that person may be removed. Because if things aren't supposed to work out, spirits will remove people. They will. They're malicious in this way because they know that we're always looking for love, and even if it's not the right person, and they will literally remove a person from your life. So if that person gets removed from your life, that means that person was not meant for you. and it's horrible. When I was younger, I didn't understand and I cried and ate a lot of ice cream over it, but sometimes you just got to deal with it, I guess. And I'm glad a lot of times those people were removed out of my life, or I wouldn't have had the marriages I have now. I wouldn't have had my first husband and had my for two kids with, and I wouldn't be with my second husband. So thank God for unanswered prayers. Just like that song. There used to be a song, Thank God for Unanswered Prayers. Sometimes just to be kind, God will remove people from you. And if you insist on keep going back to that person, you get the same karma as them. This is a thing God does to you. I don't want anybody's bad karma. So if somebody's not meant to be with me, bye bye. They can have all the bad karma they want right next to by the with them alone. I don't want to share in bad karma because if someone's in a bad karma cycle, you will be taken out. And if you don't leave and you willfully stay, that is when God literally says, fine, then have the same punishment. And that's when good people are punished. So I would really think about that. And it has happened to me. A bad karma cycle with somebody, and it was not fun. It was not fun at all. I did not like it, and I'll never do it again, ever in my life. You just woke up from a dream. Someone took my family. He shot me, and then he attacked him. And I attacked him and woke up sweating. Gave my wife a scare. Woke up in the opposite side of the room. Please help. Uh, dreams could. I've had bad dreams too. I mean, it could be a both. This could be just like your. They always say Sigmund Freud said through psychology that sometimes we dream from our subconscious, and even if we're not thinking about something, our brains are so powerful that sometimes things come out. Like if somebody was talking about something, sometimes it just comes out, and it was proven in brain studies because they actually put probes in people's brains to find these things out, and it's crazy. And I don't know why it was done. My people, this is what they do. They put probes in people's brains, and this is what they used to do. But I could do a pathway reading to see if you're in trouble with something or if there's something bad coming towards you. I'm allowed to do that because God would want you to know these things. Sometimes they're sent for a warning, sometimes they're just something from your subconscious. So just keep that in mind also. Because I do get those, but I do understand. I have bad dream that right before my mom died, that somebody came in the house and shot my mother, and it was about a month before she died. So I and people told me when I went to college it was Sigmund Freud thing, but sometimes they are warnings. Sometimes, but she died in a whole different way. That was the weird thing about the dream. But your family situation with your safety is in a wanting moon, and this is just about negative energy, and it's just not. I'm not talking like people are malicious. I'm just talking about people are worried, and if you're worried about things like that, it takes a toll on you. And that's why people tell you not to worry because you get a lot of gray hair and then you look old. That's why I don't worry about things, because I don't like gray hair and I don't like having a bunch of wrinkles, and you will age quicker. But anyways, it's just saying there's a lot of people worried about stuff intention, but it's not malicious. So that's good. And you got a new moon of Virgo and a first quarter moon. And a new moon of Virgo just means, that to give rather than take. It just means that it's a charity card. And sometimes God gives you these kind of things because we all should give charity every day. It's however you can, you're supposed to give charity. So, I don't know. Can you guys still hear me? I don't know why this is. Let me turn back this on.
Power on.
Okay. Okay, I got my little speaker back on. Alright. I hope you can hear me. I have this external speaker and it gives me headaches sometimes. But it's just saying pretty much the good forces that are around me are saying about charity. And everybody, like I said, should give charity. Even if it's just giving someone a pair of shoes or anything. Then you got a first quarter moon and it talks about commitment. It talks about how your commitment's being tested. And I feel that I don't feel you're in any danger, but I just feel like your commitment towards the light is being tested. If that makes any sense, because God does this to us too. So, oh, good. I'm glad I turned back on my speaker. I have a computer that I have put together. I'm like the pioneer woman over here. I have Microsoft. I got all this Microsoft storage going through an old computer, a speaker that my younger son had, and all this stuff going on in my computer. But I don't feel you're in any danger. I think God is testing your commitment towards your family. So I think you're okay. And God does this. God gives you bad dreams sometimes to see how you're going to react. And I don't know why. This is just what God does. God wants me to be here. And this is weird about a tarot person talking about God, but I do, and God does work through me. I was raised Catholic, so I do believe I have heavy beliefs in God through that. I was raised in pretty much Catholic school. I went to Catholic high school. So I was pretty much had nuns as my teachers my entire life. So that's just the way God kind of communicates through people. So a lot of times it's dreams, and sometimes it's warnings. But God, I guess when I had that dream a month before my mom died, that literally was just preparing me that she had to die. And I took it in a negative way. I hated God for the longest time. And God tested me all through my life at that point. And I found God again because God gives me children. If I don't have them, God brings them. So this is what happens. But I am going to go ahead and take me a little break. And I had a very good, invigorating stream. And I'll hopefully be on tomorrow if the husband works late, which I think he will because it'll be Saturday. and he's always stuck at that restaurant a long time on Saturday. So I hope everybody's does well, and I'll pray for everybody. And I bid everybody a good night and have a great day. All right. What am I gonna do with this? Interesting paint.